Okay, so you hear the word blockchain thrown around all the time, right? It's connected to everything from crypto to digital art. But what on earth is it really? Well, today we're going to cut through all that noise and get to the heart of it, the fundamental ideas behind this technology and why so many people think it's going to change, well, just about everything.
It really all boils down to one huge question for our digital world. I mean, think about it. Any file can be copied, tweaked, or just plain deleted in a second. So how do you prove something is the real deal, that it's authentic and hasn't been messed with? And how do you do that without needing some central authority, like a bank or a government, to stamp its approval on everything? That's the puzzle that blockchain was designed to solve.
And here's the solution. At its core, a blockchain is basically a shared notebook that can't be altered. So decentralized, that just means nobody's in charge. No single person, no company. Immutable, that means once something is written down, you can't go back and erase it. And it's all a digital ledger, just keeping track of information in a super specific and secure way.
So let's really dig into that. What actually makes this digital ledger a chain of trust? Well, it all comes down to a few key ideas that work together in a pretty genius way.
And this is where it gets really cool, how these four things all prop each other up. Because it's decentralized, no one person can just decide to change the rules. That's what makes it immutable. And because it's transparent, anyone involved can check the record for themselves, which, when you add in some seriously powerful cryptography, creates this incredible security. It's like this perfectly balanced system built on trust.
Okay, so this is how the chain in blockchain actually gets built step by step. First, a transaction happens. That data gets bundled up into a new block. Then, a whole network of computers checks it out to make sure it's legit. And this is the magic trick. The block gets a unique digital fingerprint called a hash. And this is the crucial part. That new hash is mathematically tied to the hash of the block that came before it. This creates a cryptographic chain. So let's say someone tries to be sneaky and change just one tiny piece of an old block. What happens? Its hash changes completely, and that breaks the entire chain after it, instantly setting off alarm bells for the whole network. Game over.
Okay, but here's a really important thing to remember. Blockchain isn't just one thing. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Kind of like how you have different types of cars for different jobs, right? You've got different blockchains too, each with its own pros and cons.
So, on one hand, you've got the public ones, like Bitcoin. Anyone can join, everything's out in the open, super decentralized. The catch? Yeah, they can be kinda slow. And then you've got the private ones. Think of a company's internal system. They're way faster and offer a lot of privacy, but you lose that decentralization. You're basically choosing between total freedom and tight control.
And of course, you've got the in-betweens that try to give you the best of both worlds. You have consortium chains run by a group of trusted companies and hybrid chains that mix public and private stuff. They're awesome for things like a bunch of banks needing to share a secure ledger or a company that wants to show its customers some supply chain info but keep the rest under wraps.
All right, of everything we've talked about, this next idea, decentralization, this is the big one. It's the real revolutionary part of all this. So let's really unpack what that means.
So, at its core, decentralization is really all about shifting power. Instead of having one company, one server, one big boss holding all the keys, control gets spread out across everybody in the network. There's no single weak spot, no single off switch.
And the biggest, most powerful result of this, it's a bit of a mouthful, but it's called disintermediation, which is just a fancy way of saying we can finally cut out the middleman. By having this shared, trusted system, people can deal directly with each other, without needing a bank or broker sitting in the middle, taking a cut and slowing things down.
And believe me, this isn't just theory. This idea is already shaking up huge industries. In finance, it's paving the way for peer-to-peer lending without big banks. When it comes to our data, it gives us a chance to take back control from the giant tech platforms. And for our infrastructure, it means we can build systems that can't be taken down by a single point of failure. It's a massive shift in how things are controlled.
So, okay, we've got these super secure, decentralized ledgers. That's the foundation. But the really mind-blowing part is what we can actually build on top of it all. And that brings us to the smart contract. Honestly, this is the killer app for blockchain. The absolute best analogy I've heard is a digital vending machine. It's simple. If you put in the right amount of money and you press the button for your choice, then the machine is guaranteed to drop your snack. There's no maybe, no person you have to ask. It just works.
And how it works is both simple and incredibly powerful. So, imagine two people make a deal. Let's say, I'll pay you, the musician, as soon as your new song gets 10,000 streams. They write that rule into a smart contract, and they put it on the blockchain. The moment that song hits its target, that contract just executes. The payment is sent automatically. It's an agreement that executes itself.
So why go through all this trouble? Well, the benefits are huge. You get insane speed because it's all automated. You get absolute trust because the rules are locked in and transparent. And you save a ton of money by, you guessed it, cutting out those middlemen. This is really where you see all those core ideas we talked about, decentralization, security, really come alive and do something useful.
So, when you strip it all down, blockchain is so much more than just crypto. It's a whole new playbook for how we can build our digital world. It's a toolkit for creating things that are automated, transparent, and, most importantly, that hand control back to us, the users. The foundation is there, the tools are being built, so the real question, the one we're all trying to answer is, what are we going to build with it?